Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and it's time for a Movie Monday. Today we're talking about Superman Doomsday. That's right everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. It's Monday, that means it's time for Movie Monday. And we started this whole Movie Monday thing off at the beginning of the year, and we went through the MCU. And the MCU's been going on for 10 years with fantastic films, and really, it was so fun to do it. But what about DC? Everybody's like, do some DC movies. If you check out PCP Movie Night, we did some Superman movies, we did some Batman movies, but we were like, what can we do that would have some meat to it, that we could spend some time digesting? The DC animated films, they're actually older than the MCU films. They started in 2007 with this one right here, Superman Doomsday. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. This was a big, bold move from DC, actually. They got together with Warner Brothers, who owns DC. They decided to do some original films geared more towards an adult audience. This was the first Superman animated series ever, PG-13. Because it's brutal, because this is basically adapted from the death of Superman. Now, is it a good adaptation? We'll get to that in just a minute here. By the way, I'm Rockin Robbie Billups. This is
Jelani Bullard.
This is
Brooks.
But this was a big deal when it first came out, and they were going to do a series of these movies based on popular graphic novels, just based on cool things, and I think it was awesome. Had a lot of creative freedom with these movies. You're able to have multiple versions of Batman and Superman, and nobody cared. It's not like with the cinematic universe right now, where we're like, how are they going to do a Jared Leto Joker movie and a Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie? How are they going to do that? But in the animated films, it doesn't matter. They have a little bit more leeway, but they have a lot less time. But the imagination is the bound. There's no limit in what you can show in these movies. So today we're going to be talking about Superman Doomsday. Overall, I think it's kind of a weak film. I really do. The death of Superman is a big deal in comic books. A lot of people remember this story. And because they did the whole thing, the death and the mourning and the return, all in an hour and 15 minutes, they had to truncate it too much. It's just not enough in there. So they totally leave out the reign of the Superman and all that stuff, and that's fine. And of course, they basically remade this with Death of Superman and did a second movie, and we'll get to that. Obviously, we're building up to it. But I feel like the first part of this movie with Doomsday is really fun, and it's brutal, and the Death of Superman has that impact that it should. But the mourning period is way too small, and the return happens too quick, and the whole clone Superman thing just doesn't work for me. I think it's clunky. I think it's a little boring. I think Lex Luthor, who should be awesome because he's portrayed by James Spike Marsters in this, that should be exciting to me, and the performance was, but just, it wasn't there, and I see what they were trying to do. They wanted to show the grieving periods for Lois, for Martha, for Jimmy, for Perry, for Lex, how they each in their own way grieve over the lost Superman. But it all happened in 13 days. So it just loses that oomph, at least for me. But Jelani, what did you think about Superman Doomsday?
I liked it. It was the first chance we got to have the death of Superman on film that you could watch and enjoy.
Yeah.
And especially it's that Superman animated series, Superman. Adam Baldwin has that feeling for that Superman for me.
Yeah, and that's Jane Baldwin, by the way. Or from the original Cape series.
Yes.
From the one with their astronaut.
Yeah.
He was in that.
Yeah,
I love it. Not a Baldwin brother.
Yeah. Not a Baldwin brother.
No,
just Baldwin.
But a Superman.
But a Superman.
A good performance, I think.
He did a great Superman. I like the interplay between him and Lex, because Lex deals with him by making that clone. Yeah. In that room, I love the red sun room.
Yeah.
And he's got the kryptonite
and he's just
gloves,
beating up on that clone.
And he just starts beating
up
on the clone.
That's intriguing. That's really good.
But I like certain things about it. You're right. The Doomsday part is brutal. It is some of the darkest stuff I didn't think they would pull off. Because the first time I saw this movie years ago, 2007.
Yeah,
and
11 years ago.
It was gorgeous, and I was okay with the first half, and the second half is clunky and shattered and dysfunctional. That clone, for some reason, never needed to be there. I don't think he should have made a clone that fast. I don't, where did he have time? And he released Doomsday, but he's still mad at Superman because he didn't kill him himself.
Yeah,
but you kind of did.
I get what they're trying to do there with Lex, but it just doesn't work. It doesn't work.
It's not Lex Luthor, and in parts of it. Like I said, it's still that whole beating up Superman thing, I felt it. I was like, yep,
Yeah.
that's Lex Luthor. That's Lex Luthor that wanted Superman dead, and he was robbed of it. I like Jimmy trying to be like a paparazzo.
He was like all TMZ
with his earring.
Yeah,
I was really weird.
That's a little cheesy.
That's a little too much.
I really think Jimmy Olsen's one of the worst parts of Superman.
Yeah.
By the way, I just in general.
Okay.
It's like Archie. It's like Archie with just effing up around Superman.
He's Superman's pal,
He's Superman's
dude.
pal.
Oh man,
he needs one.
I think you know what? If they put me in charge of the Superman books, first thing I do is kill Jimmy Olsen. I'm not even kidding. I make a big deal of it. I'd be like the death of Jimmy Olsen. Holographic cover.
12-part series.
Yeah, I kill him. I kill him so quick. Anyway,
Wow, that's awful.
But you think it's a great first half, but kind of
Yeah, it's two different films.
It's unbalanced.
It's like that. God, that Batman, the last Batman one, the Killing Joke. Just like that. It's two different stories. That one didn't need to be there, and there's another story that's pretty decent, and that's the first half of this film. The fact that Doomsday goes after that kid and how he kills Doomsday.
Yeah, that's actually believable.
That is believable.
When he takes him up in the face and drops him down,
like
that's pretty dope, man.
Yeah, you have to kill him like that. So I get it, and it gives you that dark feeling when he first comes out. And he starts like just killing everybody.
Oh yeah, so many people dying.
So many people.
So
die.
many.
It's awful. So and the carnage is the right level because it's in Metropolis. I mean, it still makes you feel like you went back to the comic book in some aspects.
I worked at a video store when this movie
aspects.
came out. I used to play it on Sundays and Saturdays when we were allowed to play kids movies. And I was like, I don't know if this is whatever because that dude just kicked Superman's ass. Superman just kicked that dude's ass. Brooks, what you think about this movie, about Superman Doomsday?
I like it, but, it does feel, kind of incomplete in a way.
Yeah.
So, it's really good and enjoyable and entertaining, but at the same time, it's like, you can just feel something is missing. Like,
you just feel like
they've kind of compressed a story into something like, a little more
palatable.
I get that they wanted to start off the DC animated movies with something big, like a big deal. And the death of Superman is one of the biggest DC
comic story in the 90s.
Yeah, absolutely. And so many people, especially in 2007, remembered that. Like, that was their Superman story. But maybe it was a little too ambitious to start off with that with only an hour and 15 minutes, Yeah. Like was it the second half that lacks for you?
Not enough.
Yeah, it is the second half more. Which, Doomsday, it's called Doomsday, but he's only in it for
Yeah, and that's the big thing. Like,
not very long, really.
As brutal as that fight is and as fun as it is to watch, like, Doomsday's done.
I wish they'd, one thing I do wish they'd done is, gone into Doomsday's backstory more,
Bring him back in the third act.
Show his origin and shit.
Yeah, and I'm not expecting them to do Superboy, John Henry Irons, but at least maybe Cyborg and Eradicator.
Or at least
I think you could fit that in. And they really only... All these people, like, Jimmy goes through this whole TMZ thing.
It's so weird.
Perry gets disillusioned, starts drinking again.
He starts drinking.
Lois and Ray Wise is Perry White.
Yep.
But it just feels like it's not enough time for all this change to have happened in these people's lives.
No.
At least to me. But let's talk about the cast real quick, because we got Adam Baldwin as Superman, and Hesh as Lois Lane. We got Perry White as Ray Wise, Ray Twin Peaks Wise, killed Laura Palmer Wise. Who else was in here?
It wasn't him. It was like
John DiMaggio, of course, plays the Toy Man, and it's really funny because we were talking about Kevin Smith's in this movie because he makes a reference because of the big spider monster, and obviously we all know that in Superman Lives, was it Joel Silver? I think it was the producer forced Kevin Smith to put in this giant mechanical spider, but then the movie didn't pan out, but then it wound up in Wild Wild West. Wiggle, Wild Wild West. What? But
it's still terrible.
And James Marsters as Lex Luthor. That should have been amazing, but I just feel like Luthor just falls apart as a character in this movie.
He's a little bit of
but I really think that Baldwin, Hesh, and everybody else just does a fantastic job in here. We got Swoozie Kurtz as Martha. And I just thought that stuff was really cool. I really like the cast. And Adam Baldwin wouldn't be my obvious choice to do the voice of Superman, but it works for me. And I think the cast is fine. And Hesh is great. Ray Wise is good. I love the entire cast.
The animation's crisp. It's
the animation's really good for what it is,
it's
man.
Fine. Yeah.
I think these movies definitely get better.
They
we'll
do.
find that out in the upcoming weeks. But overall, I mean, I think it's pretty strong. It's got a great cast. What do you think about the cast? Who stands out for you? To me, it's Adam Baldwin. I think Baldwin just did a phenomenal job. And I really wish Marsters would have had more of a Lex Luthor to portray.
Yeah. I do agree.
Okay.
But as far as voices, hell, I don't know for Doomsday.
Yep. Okay. Maybe that was John
was.
DiMaggio too.
That could have been him too. But yeah, Toyman.
I think it was
excellent.
Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
No, Toyman was fun.
It was very
He really
good.
fun because he's also like, he kind of looks like Tim Burton.
Yeah.
A little bit, if you notice. He's like,
Yeah.
He's got
just a little
the
bit
dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
Like
kinda
a
acts
pale
like
dude
Moat,
with like an
Steve-O.
oval face, long greasy
yeah,
black
he
hair,
is, right?
He
buck
was
teeth.
great. He was
And of
great.
course they had Bruce Timm he got back involved in the, of course, Batman the Animated Series, the Justice League series. So Bruce Timm being involved and all that stuff. What do you think about the cast? Who stands out for you?
I remember the whoever did Mercy's voice.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
and
Cree
Luther
Williams.
just
I've heard that.
kills.
That's Cree
Yeah.
Wilson.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
did
yeah,
the voice for. She was in a different world, and she did voices in Animaniacs. Cree Summer.
Cree Summer, okay.
Cree Summer.
A different world.
Yeah, it was a voice
She-
like that.
yeah, she
I
was
recognized, but I didn't quite
She's
place
done a
where I
lot
knew
of
it
work.
from.
She's done a lot of voice work, and yeah, she was good in this.
I really think the first like 20 minutes of this movie is really good, but that's the death, and
That's
then
it.
it's just a really quick morning, and then a kind of the return seems almost a little. The return happens quick, but the whole like clone and his turn to evil happens too quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
it also feels like it takes forever. I don't know. I just really feel like this is up and down and back and forth.
And they still had a fight at the end. They just could have
I
drug
wish-
out
I wish the
Doomsday
clone had like
fight.
kind of adopted his own kind of personality and like maybe tried, wear a different costume or something, just make him like not just.
It was very
Not just
boring when you
Superman.
just see
Yeah,
Superman
it's just
versus
like
Superman.
Yeah.
And it's
in
not even
black costume fighting Superman in original costume.
yeah, and it's not even
Right.
like unshaved, dark Christopher Reeve Superman.
No.
Either, you know.
And
like mullet Superman from the
he's got
90s.
like cracks
I
in
like
his
that he
face
has
and
the
everything.
mullet and the
Yeah.
black suit. You know, I think that's a nice little fun throwback. But ultimately,
And
Doomsday.
I like the Superman robot. I like the
Keelix,
robot.
yeah,
Keelix.
Kelix, whatever the hell you want to
Yeah.
call him.
He did a great job.
I like that too.
Yeah, no, what I'm
I
saying
just
is,
and I like how they build up the relationship with Lois.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they show their closeness, and then it shows how much it affects her. Now, I like the idea of the film. I get that they're trying to show the mourning process, but it just happens too quick.
Yeah.
And there's not enough time
Everything
for Jimmy.
happens too
There's
quick.
not enough time for Jimmy
It
to be
is.
that disillusioned to go
to
in
become and
and get his
become
ear
proper.
pierced and going like, I'm taking photos of celebrities
Yeah,
now.
No,
Shirts
he
with
had
collars
listen,
and
he
shit.
had the earring before he turned into a paparazzi.
Oh, man, they're just trying
Now,
to-
that's crazy. When she got in the helicopter,
Yeah,
and,
he already had
flew,
it.
He already had the earring. I was like, why is Jimmy Olsen?
Because they want to make Jimmy Olsen hit because he sucks.
Oh, it was
He
terrible. It
sucks.
was terrible.
I'd kill him so quick. This would be
Wow.
if I did this, it'd be Jimmy Olsen Doomsday.
What?
Seriously, Jimmy.
Doomsday just chases Jimmy Olsen.
Dude, you were writing. Shh, we gotta be quiet. We gotta save this. We gotta holler at the editors over at DC. Anyway, we're about to rank this movie. We do ya digs here. So out of 5 possible ya digs, Jelani, what do you rank Superman Doomsday?
I'll give it a 3.
3. 3's respectable.
Yeah, I want to keep 3 because it is a very clunky film, but that first half is where it's at. Like you might as well. They should have put that at the end somehow. I don't know. Maybe have.
He should have ended the movie with him dying, and that's
Yeah.
like that's the movie.
That's the movie. Dun, 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 dun.
It's called Superman Doomsday.
What did you expect?
Surprise.
Well, that's what they did with the new one.
And then you make a second movie that makes your people.
Yeah, but
then
I
you can
understand
make
why they.
Rain,
I understand why they
but
wouldn't want to
it's
do 2
compressed.
movies.
It's compressed.
I understand why they
So
wouldn't do 2.
3.
Yeah, but okay, 3. What about you, Brooks? How many ya digs?
I give it 2.5.
2.5.
It's really good, but it's not something I feel like I could. I just have to be in the right mood to watch this. Really.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think I feel like watching Superman Doomsday again, but it's not. It wouldn't be like the first thing I'd reach for
Yeah.
on the shelf.
Yeah.
Like if I had all of these, there's like other movies.
Other ones you check out first.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 3, 2.5. I'm going 2. 2.
Wow.
I really think that it's like and I don't even think it's the first half. I think it's like the first 20 minutes of the film that are pretty good, and then Doomsday's forgotten about.
Yeah.
Doomsday is
altogether.
no doesn't
more.
even matter to the story anymore. The
Why
Lex
even call
Luthor
it
story
that?
completely falls apart. I get what they were trying to do, but they just didn't have enough time. Maybe it was a little too ambitious. Maybe they overreached a little
They
bit.
should have split it into 2 parts.
They
like
should have,
did in Dark
and
Knight
I
Returns.
think they realized that and they rectified it.
They
It
fixed
didn't. It took till Dark Knight to do a 2-part. You know,
Yeah.
but nobody they feel like you can't do a 2-hour animated film. You got to do can't even be an hour and a half. It's got to be so short, right? But I think we have the attention span. I think we've proven that by watching like 5 seasons of Clone Wars and things like that. And But anyway, Superman Doomsday, so I'm going to give it 2. So 3, 2.5, 2. That's an average of 2.5.
Yeah.
So it's not a good start for the DC animated movie universe. But does it rectify itself? Oh, yes. It does very soon. We'll get to that in 2 weeks. That's right, 2 weeks. Because next week, we're going to be talking about Christopher Robin, guys. So excited to see this movie. The trailer made me cry. Yeah. Or it made me want to cry.
That's beautiful.
But I ain't cried since the doctor slapped my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tough. We tough here. Anyway, so in 2 weeks, we'll be doing Justice League New Frontier based on the Darwin Cook graphic novel. But next week, Christopher Robbins will be here for Movie Monday. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video. Let us know how many you digs you give Superman Doomsday in the comments down below and any other things you want to talk about. I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. This is
Jelani Bullard.
This is
Brooks.
And thank you for joining the PCP Army. If you don't know what it is, go on Facebook and type in PCP Army and find out. Check us out at popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts, blogs, and a whole lot more. And remember, you dig?